Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well, and today we're talking all about Falcon by UVI. Falcon is a powerful synthesizer instrument delivering unparalleled power to create and manipulate sound with an extensive collection of oscillators, effects, modulators, and event processors. But it can also be a great source of inspiration with over 1,500 factory presets, with additional expansions to expand your Falcon experience, with a selection of 19 of those expansions included in the special offer, and available exclusively at the ImageLine website for $199 through February 5th only. Does that make this already versatile plugin into even more of a powerhouse? So be sure to go check out this crazy sale before it's too late, and let's dive into these sounds together. Now let's get into it. Alright, so getting started with Falcon, we've got the startup menu over here, but instead of all of that, I'll be hitting new empty project, and make my way on over to sound banks over here, which is where the magic is really going to happen. And let's start today by going over some of the presets from the expansions. Very ethereal. Much different tone, way darker of a timbre. Oh, got that really creepy like music box sound. Let's jump on over to Divinity. The bells in here just sound so realistic. Very different vibe. And another intuitive way to find sounds will be by going to different parts of the browser. By going over to search right here, we can find sounds by the instrument like a bass or a guitar, timbre, acoustic, arpeggiated, soundware over here, and then even the presets itself. So maybe I want a synth pad, go to timbre and hit bright, and then we'll use ether fields, which really helps us narrow down our search. Alright, thanks to all the presets having very detailed tags, it's never been easier to find a sound. But then we got some other things that are completely different here, like pads. This here has some great texture in the background. Oh, I like this one a lot, actually. This can be used in a lot of different ways. Let's go something quite a bit different here by going to organic keys. Oh, Noir is very cool. Very clean. Ooh, this one too, Rainforest. So as you can see from here, we also have a lot of different ways to manipulate the sound. Now that we've gone over just a handful of those presets, let's do just that. So what's in the middle over here is going to be changing whenever expansion that you use. In this case, we've got synthesis, sample, pluck, and texture. So let's go ahead and mute all of them and then bring them on in one by one and see what each one does. It's gonna be the very clean synthesizer sound, which I always like to have as my forefront, so now we can go over to sample and bring that on in. Adding a lot more depth to this one. Now we can start bringing in the pluck for that transient. And then the texture in the background almost. And then you've got your ADSR section over here, your attack, decay, sustain, and release. Should be some pretty familiar stuff for most people out there. But now we can go on over to expression, which we can see what that does. Changes the sound quite a bit immediately. Really cool. Bring up the reverb too. Some delay. So you've already got a few different ways here to really change the sound a lot. For example, if you want a very clean sound, you can go and turn down the texture, turn down the sample, and just have the synthesizer and the pluck going. Or if you want something very different, turn down the synthesizer and turn everything else all the way up. And then the expression. It's all the same patch. It's not only is it the same expansion, but it's the same preset that we've been using here, and we're getting very different sounds. Now, truth be told here, everything that we've gone through has been very user-friendly. You can pick up and just start using it right away, giving you very easy options to change sounds in a dramatic way for basically no brain power. You turn some knobs, see what happens, right? Let's go in a bit deeper here for the more complex, more advanced users, where we can go on over to edit and get a lot more different options here that are going to be a bit more nuanced, I'll say. Where you can do some pretty simple stuff like turn up the gain or even the pan, but if we look down a bit further, we can go down to oscillators and change that up a little bit. One of Falcon's greatest strengths is that you have the ability to freely alter and layer different oscillators, so you can make a truly unique and creative hybrid instrument. As you can see, we already have a few different going on over here, where we can enable and disable different ones, and then we can even include another one, let's try out additive. Very different, right? And then once again, it can change that up a little bit. Let's get rid of that one, try a different one too. Try something a bit more analog like this one. which we can change from default to something more like a saw. Change up the voices, get that wider sound. Now we can turn back on the other ones. Very different, right? So if you've got any sort of experience with messing around with oscillators and wavetables, you'll find some very familiar stuff here. The Edit tab, in my opinion, is the best way to get very dramatic changes for your sound. But another great way to change up your sound is to go over to the Effects tab, where you can see different things here like a frequency shifter, an EQ bell. Let's go on over to the plus button over here, where we have a lot of different options to choose from. Let's go on down to modulation. I think the sound could really use a phaser maybe. Try default for right now. Phasers are one of my favorite things to use when it comes to using synths. Let's go and add some more reverb, like spark reverb here. We'll go on over to a shimmer. Turn down the mix a little bit. Let's try some different sounds all together over here. Let's try out Ether Field and go to some pads. Beautiful stuff. Let's see what happens by adding up a different oscillator too. Also for the oscillators, I'll be turning off the link button so we can edit them differently. Let's go up to 12 semitones. Adds a lot more depth and a lot more shimmer and life to this pad. Let's go and try something a bit different over here and go to modular drums. As simple as stretching this on out like this. Oh, this fits really well. Yeah, sponge works out really well in the glitch profile. All these glitch ones probably work out with this ethereal pad sound we've got going on pretty well. Even something like this works. All these actually really work really well together. I have not found a single one that does not work with our track right now. And once again, we've only gone through a small part of all the features here that we can do, all the effects that we have, the oscillators and wavetables. If I went through everything, we'd be here all day. So now let me show you some real-world applications that I've used with Falcon. So I made this trap loop right here. Inside of the Eternal Funk Guitars expansion, I'm using the Muted 1 preset. From there, we move on to a layer of a different Falcons preset using the Lo-Fi Dreams. I know I'm using a Lo-Fi preset for a trap beat, but I feel like the texture in there worked out really well. And I kept on going with the Lo-Fi Dreams expansion by going on to Kiss. That brought in a lot of the low end that I was looking for. Then finally, one simple line of a drum preset that I have from the modular drums, where I just got rid of the kick altogether. It's not even enabled, now there's the perk. Which altogether sounds like this. Alright, and then from there we got something extremely different, where we've got this incredibly simple lo-fi track, and this one patch here, and it already sounded exactly what I was going for. It's got a very glitchy, lo-fi texture to it. Which that preset was just so... It felt like 90% of the work was already done with that one. But of course we need some more low end, so I added this bass. Also from the Lo-Fi Dreams expansion. Now, some of the presets that we did not look at too much in our section earlier is going to be the ARPs. This is the Lo-Fi Dreams ARP Cloud. Super beautiful. Which from there, I actually had to edit that personally by going on over to Events and then the Arpeggiator. I actually added everything from here on out, just so I can add a little bit more variation, changing up which note it's landing on over here, and then the velocity of that one. Because so many times I hate when I'm using an ARP and then it just sounds like it's out of key. You can alter that and change it if you want to. And then one final chord layer here is a pad to fill in some empty space. Then finally, for this drum patch that I used, I didn't just have one line. Instead of having one that was built out for me, I created my own pattern here. We have the kick, snare, perk, hi-hat, and just a little bit of texture. Which you can obviously hear the delay, reverb, and other textural stuff going on there. The echo that we're hearing is going to be from the doubling effect. Some space, only a little bit there to add some texture for the room tones. I don't want to go too crazy with that. And all that culminates into this. that one was actually my personal favorite. Alright, so that's just a few of the ways that I've been using Falcon in the limited time that I've had with it. The possibilities here are really endless. So whether you're making trap beats in the studio with an artist, or making something chill to listen to like lo-fi, or even scoring a movie, there is something for everyone inside of Falcon. Falcon on its own is extremely versatile, but this expansion only makes it that much more of a powerhouse. And don't forget, thanks to ImageLine, we've got a massive deal on this too. We want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.